We're joined by FS1 NFL analyst Ray Lewis. Welcome, Ray. Good morning.
Good morning.
But Shannon, I'll start with you. Should the Cowboys keep or cut Dez?
I believe, first of all, Skip, for a meeting to be taken this late into the season, what is there to talk about? If you're going to leave Dez's contract, there's nothing to talk about. If you're going to keep Dez on the team, there's nothing to talk about. So I can only see two scenarios. Either they're going to release him or they're going to take a pay cut. Well, he's made it abundantly clear a pay cut is off the table.
Yep.
Now, I don't believe at this point Dez is tradable. So I believe the ultimate outcome is that the Cowboys will release Dez Bryant either tomorrow or sometime within the next week. Mm-hmm. I believe that's the only outcome that this is gonna the only logical one can draw from this conclusion, that they're going to meet this late into it. My only problem is, Skip, this could have been handled a long time ago. Mm-hmm. Why wait 3 months? Why wait 3 months?
Maybe because the owner thinks that this is like one of his sons.
No.
Maybe it just took a long time to come to this conclusion.
If I was Dez, I know I wouldn't want to meet because I'm going to want a chance to go out there in free agency when it's fruitful. Now free agency is basically over. Yep. You're 2 weeks today from the draft. Everybody's setting their board of what they're going to select. And so now Dez Bryant is about to be on the process. I believe he's going to be on the market. So I'm going to say Dez Bryant is going to be on the market 2 weeks from the draft.
So what would he have commanded on the early free agent market? Dez Bryant, number 88. He's out there, free of charge. You got him. What would you
he probably could have got about $6 million. He could have got at least what Allen Hurns got at the bare minimum, because he does have a Pro Bowl on his resume, Skip. And everybody can always go back to that 2014 season, Skip. He did have that.
Boy, that tape doesn't lie, though. And it says no, 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 no. And I'm just not sure you would have commanded any $6 million on the open market.
I believe he could have got that, Skip. I believe he could have got $6 million. Yeah.
Skip, you wore that blue and gray because we were talking about Dallas today?
I was thinking about it because this is actually my mourning colors for, like, M-O-U-R for Dez Bryant, because I love Dez. I had more fun with Dez Bryant in 2014 than I might have had with any player ever, because I was doing this like every Monday, right?
Yeah.
And now I mostly just threw up last year. I didn't throw up the X. I just threw up watching it.
Last 3 years.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, seriously, 2 for sure.
Yeah.
Because you guys know what happens. Your body just betrays you. It just breaks down, and you can't fix it. I think he's unfixable. What do you see?
Look, personally, if you're Dez Bryant, you have to look at this a couple of ways, Shannon. He's 28 years old. Mm-hmm. You'll probably play 3-4 more years. Max, right? Yeah. If you're already settled, I try to tell guys this all the time. If you're already settled, then why make your bed hard? Like, I think Dallas is where Dez should be. I think Dez Bryant is a Dallas Cowboy, and he should retire as a Dallas Cowboy.
By the way, you spoke to them when? Was it last
2 years ago.
2 years ago.
2 years ago, yeah. And
did you talk to Dez?
No.
Okay.
No, I actually didn't.
Dak.
Right, absolutely. Yeah. But I think the opportunity here for him is to ask, what does he really want to do with his career, right? Because if your team has took a not so likely interest against you, about you, then the market has already said what it's going to say. So now you have to say, okay, what's good for me going forward? What's good for my legacy going forward?
All right.
Right? I think he'll make more money off the field staying in Dallas than he will make going anywhere else and play for 2 or 3 years.
That is probably
true. And then trying to figure it all out.
To do it at a dramatic reduction in pay.
But even if he hits the market, if Dez Bryant hits the market, right? Unless he has insight, unless his agent knows something, that some other team is going to pay him a respectable contract.
Maybe.
Then you stay in Dallas.
Okay.
Well, that was the whole. This is, I believe, and I said this from the beginning. Yeah. This is why I believe Dallas did what they did. Right. They tried to box him in. Where free agency is gone, we're 2 weeks from the draft. Okay, Dez, here we go.
He has no
choice. You either take this or you got to do that.
Yeah.
Okay, so Ray Lewis would advise Dez to come with hat in hand tomorrow, to swallow pride and say, Mr. Jones, I'm ready to take whatever it is next year, down to $4 million or whatever.
But here's the thing. But here's the thing. Help me understand.
Yeah.
If he couldn't make the plays at 12, 13 million, how is he going to make those plays at $4 million? So what are you doing?
Right. Right, but that's what I'm saying. Like Dez has to have a real conversation with himself before he walk into this meeting with Jerry Jones.
Yeah.
Right? This is a business decision for Jerry Jones. It's
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Right? And so he has to ask himself, where do I want to be? Where do I see myself in the next 3 or 4 years? Do I make that transition to go play for, change cities, go to a totally different team, change my life, rebrand who you are? That's a lot of transition.
It could, seriously, from a mentor perspective, it could be the best thing that ever happened to Dez Bryant.
Mm-hmm.
Just start over, change your scenery, and you don't have Jerry Jones backing you up as your quote-unquote father, you know?
I believe a more important question than what does Dez want to be is who am I as a player now?
Right.
That's the question Dez honestly have to ask himself because he's been lying to himself. And too many of his closest friends have been lying to Dez. If you think Dez is a top 5 receiver or Dez Bryant is a top 10 receiver currently, you're lying to him. He's lying to himself if he believes that of himself. I know how you're supposed to think, but come on, man. You can't, on any good team, you have 3 years of the declining production, you're gone. Nobody is keeping a player with 3 years of declining production. And that's what the Cowboys have done. But here's the thing. What I can't get with, this is what I can't understand with Jerry. Jerry cut Emmitt Smith, who had more rushing touchdowns, more rushing yards than anybody that ever played in the NFL. And he cut him like that. And he's having such a hard time. And Dez is not a tenth of the player or what he brought to the Cowboys with Emmitt. And Jerry's having a hard time letting him go.
Jerry never really got along with Emmitt because remember how many times they clashed over money and Emmitt
wanted his money.
Absolutely.
That?
Yeah.
And from the start, Jerry loved Dez, and he felt like he had mentored Dez and kind of saved him from himself and his tough background.
He did.
Texas, Oklahoma State.
Yeah.
And Dez was box office. When he emerged, remember, he was on the cover, not of Sports Illustrated, he was on Rolling Stones.
Yeah.
That's crossover. That's national, maybe international appeal. And Dez could light it up in ways. Emmitt was kind of boring to watch. You know, he wasn't a splash and dash player.
No, he
scored
didn't have
touchdowns. He handed the ball to the official.
He kept all the balls. Emmitt got every rushing touchdown ball he ever scored.
He did that. No, that's true. But the point is, Dez, thanks to Tony Romo, is going up for jump balls and snatch them out of the sky and scoring, and the place would just erupt. And it sold tickets in Jerry's eyes in ways few have been able to sell Cowboy tickets because he had the next Michael Irvin. He had another 88. Yes. So that's why he's stuck here. And to me, you got to cut bait because Dez Bryant at $4 million next year will not be a happy camper. You know it and I know it. He's not built that way. And you say you have to have a conversation with yourself, but he's never had to have that conversation.
At this point in his career, he's going to have that conversation.
If you really think he'd be happy, would he shut up and play? You know, like you don't think.
So if he hits the market, this is a great question. So if Dez Bryant hits the market, Shannon, Skip, where does Dez Bryant land? And how much money does somebody offer Dez Bryant?
Well, I'm saying if at the start of free agency, he could have got more than what he's going to get now.
Yeah, we passed that.
Oh, yeah, so now he gets a couple of $1 million.
See, that's what I mean. So are you willing to take that risk right now, Skip?
Okay, but I'm speaking only as a Cowboy fan. I can't care about Dez's happiness. I care about the team's happiness.
Jerry is only meeting with him because he cares about Dez.
He does.
Right, that's why he's meeting with him.
Here's the thing. Jerry has done so much for Dez off the field.
Off the field.
And Dez know what Jerry has done for him. So there's the affinity because there's a lot of things that people don't know that Jerry has been able to do. Dez knows.
Yes.
And that's what makes it so hard, Skip, because when someone has done something for you, you're always going to have that affinity. I want to try. What can I do to make? I want to stay because I appreciate what you've done. But Jerry is looking at it. Jerry's like, this is what I want to keep you too, but at this price. And my thing is, if you can't separate for $12 million, how you going to separate for $3 million?
Right.
I agree.
Right.
So does Dez Bryant have any Larry Fitzgerald in him? I don't see it. Larry Fitzgerald was willing at age 30-ish to reinvent himself as a slot receiver. Do you think Dez can swallow his pride enough, or has the football IQ or desire to say, I'm going to figure out how to be a slot receiver.
Well, let me ask you a different question. It's on your Cowboy team, remove Dez Bryant. Who are you doubling?
They've doubled Cole Beasley all last year.
Who are you doubling and not the other defenses coming there and say
nobody? I don't have an answer to this.
Which means the eighth man is going to be inserted in the box all day against Zeke.
Do you realize I don't think they were covering Dez Bryant at the end of the year? The last 4 or 5 games,
Oh, man,
I saw him
They
single.
got to cover him now.
But they weren't doubling.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. I'm glad you brought up Larry Fitzgerald, because Larry Fitzgerald is a guy that I've talked to on a number of occasions. He and I had a very serious conversation, and I was honest with Fitz. How many guys can Dez Bryant call and they'll be honest with him? Not because they played for the Cowboys, not because they wore 88, not because they're receivers. Have an open and honest conversation. Like I tell people all the time, I'm not everybody's cup of tea. Everybody can't have me on their team because I'm going to tell you what you need to know, not what you want to hear. Too many times, people have told Dez what he wanted to hear. Yeah, Dez, you good. Yeah, Dez, you still number one. Man, the Cowboys will be crazy. Cut the tape on.
Do you think Dez Bryant would call you for advice?
No.
No.
Right. So your advice to Dez Bryant after he walks in this meeting with Jerry Jones would be, stay with Dallas or leave?
I'll go. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna put the pressure on me. And it's hard to leave because I left Denver after 10 years. It's hard to leave when you've been a place a long time because you're comfortable. You know the offense. They're going through meetings. You already know everything. Leaving forces you to reevaluate. Well, damn, they got rid of me. Am I slipping? Am I that bad?
Right.
They think they can win without me? Oh, shit. Oh, so now I got to come in and shape. I got to come in and shape. I got to show y'all made a mistake. Baltimore, y'all going to be the benefit of this. That's how you got to look at it. But, you know, I was honest with me, Shug. I was honest. Is Dez honest with himself?
Not yet.
I just seen this happen in some legends that I just don't know if it's worth leaving, right? We talked about Emmitt Smith.
The mere fact that they're thinking about it, they want you gone.
Right.
We gotta leave it there. Ray, thanks for joining us. But the Sixers stop LeBron. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show, and be sure to check out more of the best clips from Undisputed, or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.